He also brought up the behavioral issues, which, I think to a lot of us that attend games is really no surprise. If you've been around people that have been a little bit loud and obnoxious, and sort of becomes an uncomfortable situation. But he did make a comment that I think was one that kind of surprised a lot of us. And he said, quote, "People are slobs. People are flat out slobs, and that's without selling alcohol." I think he really was talking about the fan experience, not necessarily the fans themselves, but I think it really kind of came out that he was talking about a lot of us as fans, and I really don't think that's the case. We've talked to Jamie before. That's just not his persona. And his primary concern has always been on the fan experience. And, as a dad, it's not really something I want my kids to be around, particularly when they're younger, and those obnoxious guys and gals that are just yelling and screaming obscenities. It's not a great experience for kids. And, I do remember that the atmosphere, what it was like really before Jamie Pollard came, and really it wasn't conducive to family life, to the family experience. And now we've seen year over year the growth of the fan base in Jack Trice. Hilton has always been there, but within Jack Trice Stadium, you see it now. All-time record sales for season tickets. We've had to expand the stadium because of the fan experience now. I think that Jamie is doing something right. I don't know that selling alcohol is going to add that much value. I mean, let's face it, we can all just sneak it in, right? But I think that the comments in terms of the slob maybe comment, I'm sure I would think that he might want to take that one back. But any thoughts coming from you, Marcus, on that comment?
Well, I'm sure now he realizes or thinks that wasn't the best choice of words to use. I'm sure he was thinking, what we tend to think in our mind may be a little bit different than what the perception is. But we know how good of a guy and what's important to Jamie Pollard and with the athletics and everything there. So once I heard about it earlier, and then Chris shared it in the group chat, I read a little bit, and I try to read a little bit further into it. And I get the gist of it, what he's saying and everything like that. And, for someone that's really not a drinker, it's been well over probably 20 years since I've been drunk. So things like that. For some people, they like it. For me, I don't like to be in a situation where I'm out of control or just inebriated and stuff like that. So in a lot of different situations, for me, I can understand and see. Tempers and mentalities are a little bit different when you're not, a little bit on the buzz side. So if it's not going to, hey, we're not getting a 1.9 million a month budget from, Anheuser-Busch or something like that, it's something not to even be considering or thinking about if everything is going as well as they're